Hey everyone, Lensman Oz here. This is Revolution 3 episode 26. Okie dokie, so this episode we are going to continue on towards the Bedrock breaker. Now, I had a bit of a play in between episodes and I've been using our micro turbine a fair amount. The way I could get the temperature, so this is obviously the wrong unit. There's normally, what was I doing? In the previous episode I was trying to make this stuff, the sintered tungsten ingot, which requires the furnace. And I came up with this. It's a 16:1 and an 8:1. I've burnt through a ton of diamonds, like an absolute ton. Apparently you can get away with a 4:1 here, but you know, this is working. And that's able to get the furnace up to 1350 degrees, which is what's required to make the sintered tungsten ingots. Now, I've made a bunch, and I'll show you why in just a second. I have put the engine control unit under here, and it's working quite well. I'm not sure why I couldn't get it to work properly on the other engines, but this one is working well. So if I, not that I need it, if I turn the switch on, it'll turn on. If I turn it back off again, it'll slowly wind back down again. So it's still, you know, spinning. You can see the little shaft in the end there slowing down. So it does work. It does work quite well. And at the moment, the way this is set up is that the fuel line goes into the engine control unit, and that works. That transfers the fuel through. And I have way too much stuff in my inventory, which again is normal story when it comes to me making videos. Alright, and the reason I've got so much junk in my inventory will be evident in a minute. So this setup works quite well. I'd love to find a way of like swapping these over. I tried pistons, it's not going to work. I'd like to have, you know, make it so that I can hit a lever and it swaps between the blast furnace and a normal furnace. I think that'd be pretty cool. But at the moment, this is working quite well. I've produced a heap more fuel, and I've burnt through pretty much all my magma creeps. So I'll need to get some more of them before I can produce any more fuel. But that's off at the moment. And I put pressurized fluid conduits up here because there was a comment about normal conduits will lose liquid. So I put them in there, and at the moment that just fills the drum up. I found this a little bit easier than the fuel line, mainly just for redstone control. So at the moment that's turned off, and I might get to a point where I put a lever on it, which will be a lot easier to work through. So what we're going to do in this episode, and you can see I've got a ton of RotaryCraft stuff and an ethereal essence, which obviously came from a wisp being shot down around me. Let's chuck that in there. What else don't I need? I don't need the wood at the moment. Probably don't need my clippers either. Need some sort of bag. Yeah, they can go in there too. In you go. Okay, the rest of the stuff I'll hold on to for the moment. So in this project, or this work table, this is a RotaryCraft work table. Normal packs, normal RotaryCraft, I think there's a config option to disable this or make it so that you don't need to use this for your recipes. In this pack it's turned off, so you can use a normal crafting station for most of the recipes. Vanilla RotaryCraft, you must use the work table. It's a fairly simple recipe. Cool thing about it is it acts a bit like a tinker's station in that you can leave items in it. Here is our bedrock breaker, all ready to go. 2 sintered tungsten ingots, bit of obsidian, diamonds, and you know, base panels, etc. Nothing over the top, but we needed the tungsten to make it. So you can look on the power requirements. It requires 4 megawatts. The turbine The micro turbine puts out 2 megawatts. So it's not powerful enough to run the Bedrock breaker. What is powerful enough is a gas turbine. It's more than powerful enough with 67 megawatts. 2 megawatts? 67 megawatts. So we're going to make one of these. This does require a lot of stuff, a lot of material and bits and pieces. You can see here, here's the recipe here. This is all just, ingots. That's not bad. We've made one of them before with the other turbine. I still had 3 of the inductive ingots left. So we made this up, ready to go, no problems. The thing that uses the ton of material is these 2 compound compressors. So I've got one already, and I'll make the other one on camera here so you guys can see it. So a compound compressor is 4 sintered tungsten ingots each. Shaft core, that's quite easy. That's just a couple of shafts and an ingot. And then 2 turbines. So the turbines require the propeller blades around a compressor, and propeller blades are, so it's a lot of material. So I've got, if you look here, I have one of the turbines already. Here's the gear. We should be able to go like this. No, wrong one. Oh, goodness me. Maybe I don't do it in the work table. Maybe it's done in here. Compressor. So that should be what we need. Compressor, yes. Compressor. And then we surround it with propellers. Gives us the turbine. And those 2 we can go away. So we got, I believe, now we need to make the compound turbine. So this one. So we got the 1, 2, 3, 4 shaft core, 2 turbines, compound turbine. Oh, I think I've got everything I require. I might be missing a base panel. Oh, I think I got, is that everything? Okay, maybe you don't do that in this table either. Alright. Let's try it in here. No, what have I done wrong? High temperature combustor. Yep. Let's just try this again. 2 compound turbines. Diffuser. Base panel. Yeah. And that. No. Oh. Compound compressor and compound turbine. I need more. I need to make a compound compressor, not a turbine. Oh my gosh! I got 2 turbines. Alright, I'm going to need to go and get some materials. Make up some more, that was a derp. One heck of a derp. So I need to convert one of these into a compressor. Darn. Alright, back in just a tick. Okay, that was a pain in the backside. Compound compressor. Yay! Gas turbine. 67 megawatts at 1000 kilonewton meters and 65 kilorads. So we're going to need, so we got this torque of 1000, we need 16,000 torque, so we should be able to use the 16:1 gearbox, which is why I've got that set up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set this little doobie up. I'm going to grab some fuel. Let's see, I thought, oh, hang on, oop. Thought I had, here it is, yep. Bit of fuel. That's a 4-to-1, no, it should be good. Okay, I'm going to head down to the bedrock level, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to take that, and I'm going to grab a lever. I think I've got one in here. Yep. Okay. Fuel line. Grab some of that. Okay, I'm going to run it in a straight line. It'll be running sideways. So I want to get down to bedrock level where I can actually go a fair distance on the horizontal plane, because I believe that the bedrock breaker, we may as well start heading down there. I believe that the bedrock breaker can break blocks that aren't in front of it. It can continue breaking, you know, it doesn't just break the one that it's touching, so to speak. Ah! Should have got damage from that. It'll come eventually, maybe. Head down all the useless osmium from my bad world gen. Okay, where are we? 33. I've got to get miles down yet. Thought I dug down further. Alright. Maybe I had dug down further. Oh no, I know where it'll be. Let's go home 1. It will be up here. Down here. Bit of gravity obviously happened there. And here. Oh well, cross that when I try and get out. So yeah, we'll set it up in a line. Jeez, gravity is really affected. Ah! Uh-oh. And I don't have any food with me. It was really bad. What's down here while I'm here? Alright, I'm gonna head back up to the surface, grab some food, get healed up, and I'll get back down here and I'll record again once I'm ready. Back in a tick. Okay, we're down the bottom. Issue with this pack is it has Void Monster turned on. So all I can hear at the moment is the Void Monster groaning and growling. This isn't real nice. I don't know whether it can attack me down here, or it's been a while since I've played with Void Monster on. Anyway, so Bedrock Breaker we're going to put here. That's really annoying. A little bit unnerving. We'll turn him around that way. So it'll eject its stuff out the top, which is why I'm going to put the chest on top. Now I'm a little bit paranoid because the jet turbine can actually suck you into it, which is a little bit scary. So I need to, before we even consider firing it up, I need to make sure that it's not going to kill me. So plain and simple, put this here. That way I think, and this isn't going to work too well because I can't get the engine control underneath it. What I might do is I might not do this. I'll pick these up for the moment, and I'm going to go get a couple of bevel gears, so because bevel gears should allow me to manipulate the thing whichever way I want to run it, and I might be able to get a couple of corners in and not worry too much about where I can place stuff. So back in just a second. I'll grab the bevel gears and then we'll continue setting this up. Okay, I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're about to find out. I kind of don't want to put that much fuel in, because if I need to move it. So what I might do, I'm just going to break that for the moment. I'm going to place a fuel there. Don't think it'll enter in, so let's just... It's got 10 seconds of fuel. Wow, that is loud. It's probably out of fuel by now. So that was 10 seconds of fuel. I think you get hurt if you go behind it. Ow! 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 Probably from its exhaust. But the thing I want to check is whether it's actually turning. I think it might not be on the right setting. I think we're currently on torque. It's a little bit difficult to get to. Yeah, I'm really not sure if that was turning. I'm not 100% sure where the power needs to go into this unit. Whether the power actually needs to go into there. So just give me another second and I'll work out what I need to do. Maybe I just need to do the bevel gear into there. If that's the case, then it's easy enough, but just one tick and I'll be back. Okay, so apart from it being really loud, it is working. So you can see here that this has trimmed down the top part of the block here. Helps if I can open the chest. It takes a while to get through a single block, and I'm hoping that, yep, there's some more there, that's excellent. I don't want to dig out too much, I don't want the roof to collapse on my head. So I'm hoping that once it finishes with this one, you know what, it's still spinning down. Ah! Really? I need to connect up the fuel line and just let it go. This is the only downside to getting in here. Here we go. This should give it a ton of jet fuel. We've got 7 and a bit minutes. So that's now pretty much empty. So I will apologise in advance for the noise, but let's give it a go. Do you know what? Maybe I'll bring down blocks. No, I don't know which one it's using for its sound. So you know what? I'm gonna drop that right down for the moment, just so you guys can hear me. And I guess the thing is, I don't want to stand in front of this. I don't think it'll hurt me, but I'm not sure. So you can see here, it's trimming through the bedrock, and every 13.5 seconds, I guess. 13, you can see in the bottom right corner there on the whaler tooltip. Every 13 seconds, it will peel off a chunk, I guess, of this. I don't want to get too close to the front of that. I really don't want to see what happens. Apparently, it is very bad. It will explode quite well. So this should be trimming through. I haven't seen it go down again yet, but I'm not really paying that much attention. So let's see if it goes down again. I think it's 16 iterations. See, there you go, it just went again. So 16 lots of, I guess, 11, 12 seconds there. And then it'll trim another layer. You won't get bedrock dust until it gets through the whole block. So this is massive amounts of power. I mean, we're putting 4,000 rads, 67 megawatts into 4,000 rads. Receiving, pretty sure it requires a lot of torque. So I don't think putting this into speed mode would make any difference. Maybe we can try. See what it does. Yes, it stopped. So it does require it in torque mode to be able to run at the correct power. Jet engine's going well. We've got 5 and a bit minutes worth. I don't know what the afterburner does. I don't have that upgrade. As you can see here, risks ingestion, possible violent failure if damaged. So I hope nothing goes in the front of that. I really do, because we won't survive. There will be a hole here. Come on, chew through this. Oh, that's one. Did I get any dust? No? Should have got bedrock dust. Oh, I did. Obviously I don't need the chest. Maybe it doesn't go into the chest. So you can see here it's working its way out. I thought it actually put it into a chest, but that's cool. So it's, as I said, it will extend out as far as it needs to continue in a straight line. So we can leave this running for the 5 minutes or whatever it is that I've got jet fuel for, which was, that was like 50 buckets of jet fuel. You can see how on the tooltip there it's just chewing through it. But we have, somewhere, I thought I collected it. I did get a, I got an achievement for it. Oh, there it is. Bedrock dust. And remember, we needed the bedrock dust for not creating bedrock. Making bedrock shafts, bedrock gears, springs, and we can also make it into bedrock, oh look, bedrock tools. That's pretty cool. So this can be turned into ingots, I believe. I'll do some looking into it to find out what it can be used for, but as far as I know it can be used to make ingots and a few other bits and pieces. Tools, weapons, and that sort of jazz. And I believe that quarry requires a heat ray barrel and a bedrock pickaxe. Bedrock pickaxe requires bedrock alloy ingots, and they are made for bedrock dust and a steel ingot in a blast furnace. So that'll be our next level of machine, or next level of tool, etc. These are completely unbreakable, which would be great because my dark pick's about to break. So if we let this run for a while, I don't know if it'll chew through that dirt. That'll be interesting to see. Let this run for a while. Worst case, I can also rotate it. I can probably rotate it and go this way. I'm not sure what else is this way. Yep, there's some more there, so I can move this around, produce a ton more fuel, which is obviously what I'm going to need to do, and turn this to where I need it. Maybe I can go back that way too without having to move the engine. So we've got a fair bit of maneuverability with this setup. And go down, I guess, and expose the void monster, which would be a little unnerving. But yeah, definitely an achievement here getting this up and running. It's got to be almost, I don't want to walk into that. 10 buckets left. Hopefully we'll get through this piece. That's enough for one ingot. Goodness. Alright, I'm going to let this run and I'll come back in just a tick. Okay, so I let that run for a bit. We only got one extra piece of bedrock ground through before we ran out of fuel. I am going to rearrange things down there and maybe move it around a bit so that we can get a better run at it. It went a fair few blocks. I don't know its full extension. I don't know how long it can actually extend that unit out. I'm not sure if the book will tell me wherever I've hidden the book. Let's have a quick look in here. Sufficiently powered, gradually grind away bedrock blocks in front of it. Move on to the next block when each spells bedrock dust. Machine's operation speed goes up as the input speed does. Machine will not break bedrock at layer 0. So yeah, it doesn't say how far it will actually extend out, and I really don't know. So that being said, yeah, I'll definitely have to move it around a bit down there, just to make sure we maximize our fuel. But you know, I've got enough for one bedrock ingot, one of these bedrock alloy ingots, and all I've got to do there is just pretty much fire up the turbine, get that to 1,000. this to 1,000. So we can do that just to wrap up the episode. Let's just pop that off there, put that there. Should have another HSLA steel ingot. There we go. And if I go 4 bedrock dust, 1 ingot, and then just grab a little bit more fuel. I think I've got some in it. Just give it a little bit more, and then I'll turn it on. That should heat up pretty quickly. We need 1,000 degrees. It shouldn't take too long to get there. This does take a little bit to wind up, but once we get this up to 1,000, this process should start. There we go. I could make an unbreakable shovel, I guess. With the one ingot I have. Look, hey, bedrock alloy ingot. Let's turn that back off to stop wasting fuel. So it's got 1.5 buckets in it. So there you go. 1 bedrock alloy ingot. And as I said, I could make a shovel. If you make the armor, it comes pre-enchanted, so does the pick. So, I mean, I don't really need a bedrock shovel, but we could do it just for giggles. But I think I'm definitely going to wait and get the new pick because, as I said, mine's almost broken. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to do a bit more mining for bedrock, and hopefully when we come back, I'll be able to get some armor. That's my intention, is some bedrock armor. I don't know about a jetpack. That's a bit out there. I don't know about the boots, but definitely some chest and leg protection. And I believe night vision, apiarist. I wasn't sure whether I could add the goggles of revealing to the helmet. That would be cool. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and please leave your comments in the section below. Next episode, we'll work on, I guess, that, and hopefully maybe we'll move on to some sort of mining. Maybe I'll try and finally get this generator set up, and we'll get some big power generated. I wouldn't mind looking into RotaryCraft though. I think it's RotaryCraft. No, the Electrical Age. There's a couple in here. Let's have a look. Electrical Age. That it looks a bit weird. I'm going to do a bit of research and see whether it's worth me trying to wrap my head around it. Looks like it's got lights and all sorts of stuff. Power generation. Otherwise, you know, there's plenty of other stuff that we could be doing. Eventually, we're going to have to get out to the moon. But I mean, I've done that in a lot of my other a lot of my seasons lately. So I don't know how much I'll get into doing that. But yeah, we've got a few other things we can look through. I was hoping that the pack would update again and get some of the questing done, but not to be so far. So again, thank you for watching. Comments in the section below. Hit the like button if you liked the episode, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I upload. At this point, it is still 6 days a week. My Thursday being my day off, so to speak, the point to catch up. Yeah, and multiple different packs through the week. Again, thanks for watching. See you later.